Did you know that some stupid things older adults do every day might quietly be making life harder? If you're between 65 and 80, this video is your wake-up call. We're going to talk about 5 unexpected things many seniors continue to do. Things that might seem small or harmless, but are actually holding you back from living your best years with confidence and peace. These aren't the usual tips you've heard 100 times. These are the ones that slip under the radar, yet quietly shape the way we age mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I say this not to judge, but to help you live stronger, smarter, and more in control of your time. So, if you've ever wondered what simple choices might be costing you joy, independence, or good health, stick with me, because what you learn today could help you avoid regrets later. And trust me, the last one is something most people overlook entirely. You won't want to miss it. Habit number 1, clinging to old grudges. One of the most self-destructive habits people carry into their 60s, 70s, and even 80s is holding on to old resentments. Whether it's a family feud from decades ago, a friend who betrayed your trust, or a neighbor who once said something hurtful, these grudges don't just live in your memory. They live in your body and your spirit. And over time, they take a toll. You might think, but I have a right to be upset. And maybe you do. But here's the truth. The person who hurt you might have moved on. They may not even remember what happened. Meanwhile, you're the one carrying the weight, reliving that pain in your mind every time it surfaces. Bitterness doesn't hurt the person who wronged you. It hurts you. It clouds your heart, poisons your conversations, and can even damage your physical health by raising stress and inflammation levels. Think of it like dragging a heavy suitcase behind you everywhere you go. At some point, that suitcase gets so heavy, you can't enjoy where you're going anymore. The energy it takes to hold on to anger robs you of the energy you could be using to heal, laugh, connect, and enjoy your remaining years. I once spoke with a man named Walter, 79, who hadn't spoken to his sister in over 30 years. They had argued over their parents' will, and both walked away angry. When I asked him if he missed her, he said every single day, but his pride kept him from reaching out. After we talked, he made the call, and that conversation changed everything. They didn't solve all their differences, but they laughed, cried, and said things that needed to be said. Walter told me it was the lightest he'd felt in years. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing. It means deciding that your peace is more important than the pain. It means choosing freedom over the prison of resentment. And even if the other person isn't ready, forgiving them in your heart can still release you. Let go, not for them, but for you. You've carried that weight long enough. It's time to put it down and walk forward with a lighter step. Habit number 2, ignoring your own appearance. Too many older adults fall into the trap of thinking, why bother, when it comes to how they look. They stop fixing their hair, give up on clothes that fit well, and shrug off the mirror as if it no longer matters. But here's the truth. How you present yourself still affects how you feel inside. And the moment you give up on your appearance is often the moment you start giving up on yourself. This isn't about chasing youth or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about maintaining dignity and self-respect. When you look in the mirror and see someone who's well-groomed, clean, and put together, you're reminded that you still care, that you still belong in this world and have value. That reminder matters more with each passing year. Think about how you feel when you get a fresh haircut, or your favorite outfit, or simply take time to wash your face and moisturize. It's not about vanity, it's about vitality. These small acts signal to your mind that you're still living, not just existing. And that affects everything. Your posture, your confidence, your willingness to go out and connect with others. I remember Gloria, age 76, who once told me she hadn't worn lipstick in years. It just didn't seem important anymore, she said. But after a friend convinced her to try a shade she used to love, her whole face lit up. I didn't realize how much I missed myself, she admitted. That one tube of lipstick reminded her she was still there, still beautiful, still worthy of attention. Neglecting your appearance often leads to isolation, low mood, and a sense of fading into the background. But taking care of how you look, even in the smallest ways, brings you back to life. It tells the world and yourself that you're still in the game. So, take pride in your appearance. Wear colors that lift your mood. Trim that beard. Put on those earrings, not to impress anyone else, but to honor the amazing life you've lived and the one you're still living. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Habit number 3, acting like you're always right. One of the most frustrating things about getting older is the feeling that people don't listen to you anymore. So, it's tempting to double down and try to prove you're always right. You correct people mid-sentence, shut down opposing views, or insist your way is the only way. But doing this doesn't make you respected. It makes you hard to be around. The truth is, wisdom doesn't mean having all the answers. It means knowing when to speak and when to listen. It means understanding that the world keeps changing and there's always more to learn. When you cling too tightly to being right, you close the door to new conversations, fresh ideas, and even personal growth. And worst of all, you push people away without even realizing it. There's nothing wrong with having strong opinions. You've lived through decades of experience, and your voice deserves to be heard. But if every conversation becomes a battle of who's smarter, it wears people down. Eventually, they stop engaging. Not because you're wrong, but because it's exhausting. Trying to talk to someone who won't budge. I once knew a man named Harold, 81 years old, sharp as ever, but terribly lonely. His daughter said, "He's brilliant, but he always has to win." Over time, his friends stopped visiting, his grandkids avoided phone calls, and he couldn't figure out why. But when he finally let go of needing to be the smartest person in the room, everything changed. He started listening more, laughing more, and reconnecting with the people he missed. Being wise doesn't mean correcting everyone. It means having the grace to let some things slide. Let others share their thoughts without jumping in to disagree. Let your kids or grandkids teach you something, even if you already know it. Sometimes people just want to be heard, not corrected. Humility is a quiet kind of strength, and the older you get, the more powerful it becomes. So let go of the need to be right all the time. Choose connection over correction, and you'll find that people want to be near you again, not because you've changed your mind, but because you've opened your heart. Habit number 4, refusing to try new things. As we get older, it's easy to fall into the trap of routine. We eat the same meals, watch the same shows, talk to the same people, if any at all. And while familiarity can feel comforting, it can also quietly drain the life out of you. Refusing to try new things is one of the most underrated mistakes older people make. And sadly, it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Life doesn't stop being interesting after 65. In fact, this stage of life can be one of the most freeing. No bosses, no young kids to raise, no need to impress anyone. But if you stop exploring, you start shrinking. Your world gets smaller, your conversations more repetitive, and your mind less sharp. New experiences don't have to be big or expensive. It could be something as simple as learning how to use a tablet, trying a different route on your walk, taking a watercolor class at the community center, or joining a group that meets once a week just to talk. The point isn't what you do, it's that you do something new. Your brain, much like your muscles, weakens when it's not challenged. And when you stick to the same old patterns day in and day out, it's not just your memory that fades. Your confidence fades too. You begin to doubt your abilities, avoid change, and before you know it, fear becomes your default setting. Let me tell you about Ella Lehner, a widow in her 70s who never touched a smartphone in her life. Her grandson gave her one and offered to teach her. At first, she resisted. "That's for young people," she said. But one day, she gave a shot. A few months later, she was sending voice messages, ordering groceries online, and even joining video calls with her old high school friends. She said it made her feel alive again. Not because the phone was special, but because she proved to herself that she could still grow. You're never too old to be curious. And the moment you say, "I don't do that," you start drawing the line around your own world. But that line can become a cage. Open the door. Say yes to something unfamiliar. Not because you have to, but because you can. You're still here. And that means life still has new things to offer. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Habit number 5. Acting like you don't need help. One of the most dangerous things many people over 65 start doing is pretending they can handle everything alone. Whether it's pride, fear of being a burden, or not wanting to seem old, too many seniors suffer silently, thinking asking for help is a sign of weakness. But let me tell you, refusing help isn't strength. It's a hidden form of self-sabotage. You've lived a long life. You've raised kids, worked hard, survived loss, and overcome challenges. You've earned the right to lean on others when needed. Yet somehow, many older adults believe that needing help means they failed. They avoid telling their doctor about new symptoms, try to climb ladders alone, drive when their eyesight's fading, or insist on carrying heavy groceries even when their knees are screaming. And all too often, it ends in preventable accidents, health setbacks, or avoidable stress. Asking for help is not giving up. It's taking control. It's smart. It shows that you care enough about yourself and the people who love you to stay safe, stay well, and stay connected. You're not a burden. You're a blessing to your family and friends. And letting them support you doesn't take away your independence. It strengthens it. There's also another layer to this. When you reject help, you rob others of the chance to feel needed. Think about that. People, especially younger ones, often want to feel useful to you. Whether it's your daughter offering to do your shopping, your neighbor offering to rake your leaves, or your grandson helping with your computer, saying yes builds bridges. It gives them a sense of purpose, and it gives you the warmth of knowing you're cared for. Take Jim, for example. He's 74 and used to fixing everything around the house himself. But last year, after a minor fall from a ladder, he finally asked his nephew to help with the gutters. Not only did they get the job done safely, but they ended up grabbing lunch and reconnecting. That simple yes turned into something more: trust, conversation, and a reminder that we're not meant to go through life alone. You've already proven your strength countless times. Now, prove your wisdom. Know when to say, yes, I could use a hand. It doesn't make you less. It makes you more open, more human, and more connected to the people around you. Final thoughts. A time for clarity and growth. At this point in life, you've earned more than just comfort. You've earned clarity. And sometimes clarity means stopping long enough to notice the things we've been doing out of habit, fear, or stubbornness. Each of the points we've talked about today may have seemed small on their own, but when they pile up, they shape the kind of life you wake up to every morning. If you're between 65 and 80, it's not too late to shift gears. In fact, this may be the perfect time. You see, getting older doesn't mean you're set in your ways. It means you've got wisdom. And wisdom means the ability to reflect, adapt, and grow. So when we talk about quitting these stupid things, we're not pointing fingers. We're shining a light on those habits that quietly steal your energy, your confidence, and your joy. And once you can see them clearly, you can do something about them. We all carry invisible habits that weigh us down more than we realize. But you don't have to carry them forever. The moment you recognize one, you can set it down and walk a little lighter. And when you do, something shifts. You smile more. You breathe easier. You sleep better. You begin to remember what it feels like to enjoy life instead of just getting through it. So ask yourself, which one of these things have I been doing, thinking it didn't matter? And what would happen if I finally let it go? That simple awareness, that moment of honesty is how freedom begins. You've got so much life left to live. Don't let outdated habits, beliefs, or pride steal even a minute of it. You're not alone on this journey. There are others just like you, wise, thoughtful, and ready to take the next step toward a better, lighter, more joyful life. And we're here to walk beside you, one decision at a time. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.